Welcome, everyone, to Blood and Iron, Dead Man's Hand. Where we had left off last time, some of our Coterie members have been talking to other members of their domain, such as the Hound, such as Fernando, the one who may or may not have made a meal out of a couple of Thin Bloods. Some members solidifying their stance amongst the kine in their domain by putting in some influence in the healthcare system. The university's hospital is perhaps the largest in the cities of Dallas and Fort Worth, and therefore has a lot of influence in this particular region in the development and research and creating of medical minds. So it is definitely a very influential place that Dorian has been sinking his teeth into as a way to spite their primogen. Dr. Ian Keller, someone that they've come to loathe, someone who has been assigned the primogen ship that they think is incompetent and want to oust, make a fool of, and maybe have a little fun dragging their name through the mud. But all of that begins with finding out how much one can concentrate on their given situation. The beast is ever present, and the hunger pains of a vampire increase with every night, with every bit of effort, with even activating some of their gifts. And so, since it is a new night, my lovely vampires, it is time for rouse checks. How hungry does waking make you? Well, it's not exactly looking good. What about Shriek?
Oh, just all the pieces coming together.
Oh, your rouse check, my dear.
Didn't that go through?
Uh-uh.
No, it didn't go through. I thought it went through.
Nope, it didn't show for me.
Darling, no.
There we are. No one succeeds.
And the curse continues.
Everyone gets a little hungrier as the night rolls in, the sun sets, the stars shine brightly in the sky, the moon, a clear little crescent. And all of you get a little hungrier as you rise yourself from your bed, from the wall you've crammed yourself into, from the penthouse that you find yourself in. The little apartment above a unique oddity shop. So, with that being said, Aaron is out hunting first thing this evening. And being a little hungrier this evening does make things a little bit more complicated. So, Aaron, how are you going about feeding, my friend?
Well, oh my. I'm a bit of a bind tonight because I'm at full hunger.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little iffy.
Means your beast is a little bit present in your everyday thoughts. The little errant thoughts that you may have had when you were alive are that much more present as you are dead.
Yes, indeed. Well, I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do then is, looking at my options, and the usual way I handle this ain't exactly par for the course. I don't think I would necessarily do too good handling it by myself. So I'm gonna have to figure something else out, or shit.
Tricky situation indeed. Do you call upon any help from your coterie mates, or do you simply go it alone?
Keeping it alone.
Alright, then I need you to make me a standard feeding roll, if you're using your standard method.
I am. Extortionist style. I'm gonna go out of my way, taking up some private security odd job, patrolling neighborhood, or maybe a hospital or something like that, small clinic, a graveyard, something like that. Try and take down anyone who decides to get their thieving on.
You said your feeding type is extortionist or alley cat?
Yep.
Okay.
Extortionist, which also utilizes strength intimidation.
True. It means that you typically find those that you have dirt on. Get them into a situation where all they can do is be subject to your whims, lest you release whatever incriminating evidence you have upon them.
Suppose so. Standard feeding roll. Go ahead and send it.
Alright.
4 cut it.
I believe it does. Let me look at your
Thank God.
coterie sheet. Because you have chase 3, so... Yes, 4 will do it.
Oh, thank God. Oh, well, I was scared. I'm gonna go out and find a drug dealer. One of the many that occasionally prowl through these neighborhoods.
You got some dirt on
Surprisingly, you'd find that in between some of these urban areas or trailer parks, whatnot. Lots of deals tend to go on around those parts. It ain't just dirt that I find on them. My big question is, do I find more than dirt? I'll take 2 dots of hunger from the feeding, but is it possible that I could try and find a little more than dirt?
Well, you have to pass a frenzy check first.
Yes, I do.
Because that determines whether you actually have the mind to do so.
Let's see. Willpower is good. I've been very good with my willpower. Good me.
Good you.
Good me. Then humanity is 6.
Difficulty 3.
Please don't suck. 3 exact.
Ooh, yes. Barely, but yes. Ooh, you have some strong willpower there, then.
It's literally just 5.
That's pretty strong for some cases.
For a guy like him, I guess.
You keep it together. You hold this little piece of dirt over him. Get him to follow your orders for a little bit. And in doing so, you sneak a snack. And when your teeth and your tongue taste that blood, your first instinct is to rip him to shreds. But thankfully, you have the strength of will to quell such errant thoughts, strong as they might be, and simply savor the drink for the moment that you have it. And if you want to if you want to find out more about this person, then that would be a wits and investigation.
It's investigation. Alright. Surprisingly, it's not bad on my part.
Okay, let's see what it looks like.
Never mind, it sucks.
Ooh.
Well, no ones. I got nothing.
Aside from what you already have hanging over him, which, to be honest, isn't going to last very long. It's not exactly the most ironclad of evidence. It works for this situation, but probably will not get you much further with this individual anyway. Other individuals, though, maybe down the line. As there's the potential that you could develop a herd from something like this, but, well, we'll have to see how strong some of that evidence you come up with later on comes out to be.
Suppose so. It's
But
neither here nor there at the moment. The goal was finding steady ground.
mhm.
There's a part of me, I won't lie. I was trying to find something that I could bring back to Cash, plant on in his home. In case I needed leverage. The way my mind was working is, if he's getting involved with, if he's getting involved with more hunting, I'm just gonna have to put him in jail too. Find a way to put him in jail until I can at least get everything arranged to send him out. Force him out of the state. That's the idea.
He's been involved in the hunting business about as long as you have. It's only recently that he's actually started getting professional about it.
Yeah, well, hunting ghosts in your local high school ain't exactly the same as shooting down werewolves with your paw. But sure.
Everything about the Camarilla tells you that Cash should already be dead. He knows too much.
He's mine. That is my decision.
It is a liability. Your prince would order his death in immediacy if he knew.
Prince would order my death. In immediacy. That's just kind of the take. That's what I traded. No sins to bear. In any case, couldn't find anything be useful tonight, so suppose I'm just gonna be on and out, and maybe I could trade off with Mr. Resner. I ain't got much going at the moment. We'll see if he needs anything. See if I can. See if I can owe him something in return for a backup. Pa always said have a backup plan in case shit turns to shit.
And things have gotten rather shitty.
Just grimaces. Spits onto the sidewalk and turns to wherever it is the coterie agreed to go for the night.
Okay. So is the coterie meeting up for the night as a group?
Sure. After I go feeding scene
Okay.
and send some plans out.
Okay. So, Dorian needs to do a little bit of feeding. So, in the domain of the dead man's hand, Dorian, how do you go about that?
I think I was in the process of changing my feeding type because I was
What is it
starting to
currently?
do. I was going siren style, I think,
Okay.
because it's currently Osiris.
Yes, typically you have a cult following that you've been, not really cult following, well, maybe a cult, but a following nonetheless that tends to be at your whim,
Yeah.
and typically you drink from them. It's usually something a very influential and very present person does that you could definitely feed off of a following that you have, which would be typically at your club. Your club being outside of your domain does mean that the chase would change. Your club is downtown, where your sire's domain is.
Yes. But I'm probably going to be hunting in our domain.
Okay. So you're going to go about a little bit more of a siren approach while here?
Yeah, I think that's what I was doing because of my predator type's charisma subterfuge.
Okay. Since it does still kind of play into your charisma, then it will be it is a chase 3. It is still normally a difficulty 4. If you're looking for your specific type, it'll raise it to a difficulty 5.
Okay, and I'm assuming looks and all can help.
Looks and awe can help because it is well, awe is for persuasion rolls and performance rolls.
Oh, okay.
But looks definitely. Since this is a subterfuge roll.
Okay.
Oh, 5 will do it. You do get someone who does match your type. What does your type look like, Mr. Ventru?
I actually forgot.
Oh,
Shit.
this is not something you wrote down in your character sheet?
I don't think so.
No, I'm not seeing it either.
I think it had something to do with people that I've influenced or like no, it was people that like wanted it was something like had to do with people that wanted to be around me or something like that. So it was like I was trying to build a following.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We'll get into more detail about that
Yeah, we
after the
can.
stream, because that does need to be nailed down as a Ventru. Because your type is definitely very specific, because Ventru have very refined palates.
Yeah, we decided on something. I just forgot.
Okay. And that's not in your info tab either, so. Okay. Well, we'll come back to that. But you do find your type, so you do not have to spend willpower, whatever that type might be. In For the sake of expediency, we're going to say it is going to be related to garnering a following in some respect. So people who are relatively enamored with you, or based on a specific look, or based on a specific style in which they're dressed. It'll be something to that effect. But we'll we'll nail that down here later, as it is not currently relevant. But you are able to feed, you're able to reduce your hunger. Did see that you are also at a hunger 4, so I do need a frenzy check from you.
Yeah, I was just about to point that out. Don't want to tattle on myself, but
Difficulty 3,
yeah.
my friend. Thankfully, you don't have to spend willpower to suck it down. Ooh, that's 5 on a crit. Nice. Very, very stable. Just how you like it. Maybe that kind of plays into the flavor in which you like, Mr. Resner. You like stability. You like control. You like everything going according to plan. And anything that doesn't kind of ruffles your feathers just a little bit. And maybe this meal kind of stable. Maybe this meal kind of instills that a little bit in you.
And something that I haven't done, but I've been meaning to. For this person, I'm going to activate Lingering Kiss to make next time's feeding maybe a little bit easier.
Lingering Kiss with the errata to V5 does cause them to have a little bit of a withdrawal symptom given a period of time that they're away from you, but also grants them a power. I believe it's presence powers, which means that can come back to bite you in the ass. I'm just looking at it right now. Lingering Kiss. Adds their dice equal to their presence to any subsequent charisma-based assisted pool against the bitten victim. A mortal fed upon this power must make a willpower test every week to resist the effect. Winning this test for 3 consecutive weeks breaks the effect, as does a single crit. The victim also gains a bonus equal to half the user's presence, rounded up to 1 category of dice pools, physical, social, or mental, chosen by the user. This benefit lasts for a number of nights equal to the user's presence and is renewed to full duration if used again during the period. Once the benefit fades, withdrawal strikes and all actions not spent working towards acquiring a new fix receive a penalty equal to the initial bonus, including trying to resist whatever the user asks of the addict. A victim fed upon with this power can make a willpower test every week to resist the effect. With this person being a feeding victim and a bit of a random nobody, unless you would plan on, doing something more complex with them at some other point, you may one day get a visitor at your club that may be hankering for you to bite them again.
Interesting. I didn't know it was all that now.
Yep.
But we'll roll with it. I already said I was doing it, so.
Yep. Lingering Kiss is no longer the same as it was in the player's core book. The player's guide and the errata is what it is now. It has changed. But that being said, you have fed, and the coterie is going to beat up, if I understand the situation correctly. And then we'll move on to other things. So, where is everyone meeting? At the shop? At Alex's apartment? Down the block from there?
In truth, I've reconsidered If I was gonna be trying to find Mr. Resner, I'd probably likely find him at his club, wouldn't I?
Yeah, that's a possibility too.
I'm gonna go there then.
Okay. I'll be there setting up the deal, sending it over to the hospital. That I'm basically proposing that I buy and manage a fleet of ambulances to cut down on their costs instead of outsourcing it to another company.
Okay. So I'm guessing it's just Dorian and Aaron that are going to be there at the club then?
Sounds like it. Unless anyone else wants to engage.
Okay. What is the name of this club, Dorian?
Shit, we had a clever name for that too, and I forgot. Damn it. I knew I shouldn't have took time off.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's alright. We'll call it the Gray.
The Gray. Okay. Like Dorian Gray.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, well, I entered the Gray, as it were, feeling like a bit of a fish out of water. I see all these young folk dancing around and enjoying their time. It's not exactly that I'm particularly older than them or anything, just... I don't dance. There's a lot of people dancing.
Indeed.
A lot of people wearing neon something or other. Anyways, I'm gonna move through the crowd, trying to keep mostly the hell off everyone, sticking to the sideline so I ain't gotta be pulling any special skills and nothing, and then sit down at the bar. Look at the... what's this word? Bartender. I wanted to use a different word. Look at the bartender and just ask him to pop me a beer, simple bottle, something dark, so that I can go ahead and hide the fact that I'm definitely not drinking it.
Bartender's actually a woman. A woman dressed in kind of a suit. She's got this kind of tailcoat, tied bow tie with a white shirt underneath. It's rather very sophisticated, this bar. This club is probably the nicest place that you have ever been in the entirety of your existence, probably. As everyone from the bar staff looks nice. They're all dressed in this same black tailcoat and white shirt with the sort of red bow tie. All of the women have their hair pulled up into a nice neat bun. All of the men are very sort of well groomed beard, if they have one, or clean shaven, and have a very sort of soft fade to their hair. Everyone, including the clientele, look nice. Everyone in the club is wearing something of almost like an evening gown or some kind of nice suit. This is definitely a very ritzy club. You're actually kind of surprised that you, in your leather jacket and jeans and t-shirt, have been welcomed into this club.
Welcome to Zia. It's a word. I wouldn't say it's a word that applies here. I ain't gonna necessarily deny there's quite a few eyes, and, well, I don't blame them. Coming soon. Ain't nobody gonna be looking. Lots are gonna go out, so I gotta make this quick or get Resner out on the porch with me. But I talked to the bartender once I got the drink and immediately pay off the tab with a little bit of cash I happen to have on hand. Ain't much, but it's what I got at the moment. After robbing a guy earlier this night.
Mr. Resner will see you, sir, she says to you.
Thank you, ma'am. I tip my hat and head on.
You may head up to the VIP room on the top floor.
Thank you, ma'am. I march on up to the top floor.
Where you will find Dorian.
A couple knocks before I enter.
Enter.
Went in and shut the door behind me. Mr. Resner,
Oh,
what are you
Mr.
doing
Winters.
this evening?
Oh, very good. It's been way too long since I've showed my face around here. I still need to make appearances from time to time and make sure it's all being run well.
All in a day's work for CEO and all that, right?
Sometimes the work never ends.
Yeah. You sense it. A hint of sarcasm in Aaron's voice.
So what can I do for you?
Oh yeah. Finding myself with a bit of a dilemma. Need to put a little bit of leverage on someone, get them locked up for a bit.
Okay.
Thing is I need this to be as subtle as possible. All very human means. Get my drift.
I think that I might be able to arrange something. What exactly do you need?
I'll visit a fella later tonight. You go ahead and follow along with me and you'll get the address. Name, details, location, all in here. And he just pulls out like a little folded paper from his pocket, drops it onto your desk. You unfold it and see the name Cash Jackson. You see license plate number. You see another miscellaneous detail like I guess where he works currently.
Which would actually stand out a little bit as it's simply registered as the government.
So how long do you need this to happen for?
It ain't nothing big. Just need him put out for about a week or so. And give him a little bit of a stain on his state status, I guess.
Let me make some phone calls and I'll see what I can do. Give me a moment. And I'm going to go over and sit down and I'm going to use some of my criminal contacts, which I assume I might know a crooked cop.
I don't know. Would a crooked cop fall under criminal? Because That might fit, but it's a stretch.
It depends on how criminal they're being. If they're working with cartel connections, which plenty of cops do, or if they're a gang member, which there are quite a few cops who are gang affiliated or former gang affiliated, as a lot of interesting studies have come about.
Yeah.
Very likely.
So this is where the that might be a little tricky. So if your criminal contact is 3 dots, which is what it says on your character sheet, they wouldn't have their hands tied by red tape of being a cop. They would be able to freely act and do and get you what you want at a moment's notice. If they did have their hands tied as a cop a little bit, then they would have to do things at a much slower pace, thus being a lesser dot contact. So you have 3 dots in contacts. How do you want to split that up, if at all?
I figured that the criminal might know one. That's how I was going. My rationale behind that they might know a crooked cop. Be able to act like a broker to get me in touch.
Okay, so you want your contact to get you in touch with a crooked cop to put out an arrest warrant for cash? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Okay. With bad information.
How
Yeah, we
about
can have-
how about I do you a solid? Get in touch with your contact. Give me a piece of evidence I can go ahead and plant on this person. I'll get it to him. And you? Then you can go ahead and call any kind of cop buddies.
That could work.
In which case, you don't necessarily need a dirty cop for that. You just need the criminal to get you evidence to plant on cash and then call the cops.
Yeah.
So, how long do you want cash locked up for? A traffic ticket? Because that might put you in jail for a couple of days. But that would be if he's dodging a traffic ticket. A couple days in the slammer on false evidence.
Ooh, hold on. This has my brain rolling.
Yeah, because if you plant something too powerful on him, he's going to get locked up for good.
I'm looking up. Look at several days of jail time in Texas.
Texas is kind of an all or nothing state, I think.
No. There's definitely a range. There's definitely a range. Everywhere has a range because they still have to follow a degree of federal regulation on that.
Mm-hmm. That is certainly something outside of my knowledge base.
It's outside of mine too, but we're going for it.
Another idea, I'm just putting this out there, is you could kidnap him for a couple of days and then set him on his way. That doesn't necessarily need to get the jail involved.
Holy shit, I really can't.
Don't do illegal things, kids.
Yeah, don't do illegal things. So the thing, my thought process is, the reason why I'm taking the extra steps is because it puts a realm of denial. What's it called? What's the word?
Plausible deniability?
Plausible deniability. Puts a realm of plausible deniability between me and Cash.
Okay.
That's the first thing.
So you don't want him to know it's you. Okay.
Yeah. The second thing is to basically make it so that he doesn't have a reason to return to Texas. Because once something is on your record, a lot of courts will often put in a lot of time and effort to make it so that you can't, like, you have no way to actually reintegrate into society within the state itself. Not to necessarily make any sort of like broad.
That's
a very broad
usually is a
statement,
felony, yeah.
Yeah. But like that could even be done. That's not necessarily with the felony itself. Sometimes that is something as minor as like fucking like divorce, like miscellaneous charges or jurisdictions that would come up with a divorce. Like that sometimes happens. So what I think is good is assuming Cash is and this is a first offense for Cash, he would get, and assuming we're not having him doing a felony,
Yeah.
like a grand felony or anything like that, says here that like misdemeanors initially have like 180 days of jail time confinement, which class B misdemeanor
Upon a conviction.
180 days.
Yes.
So
if you're initially arrested, you can post bail.
we're learning. We're learning.
So, he would have to be convicted of a crime to be able to do a 180-day sentence. But a couple days in jail while he's waiting to post bail is something that you could do.
Yes, and a Class B misdemeanor usually equates to, let's see, just like vehicle crimes is one of them. We'll
like
go with that.
Theft
is a pretty good one. Assault is a pretty good one.
Okay.
It's essentially like an initial establishment of a criminal record within that realm. So I think we're going to go with something like that. I'm going to try and set this up.
Okay. So you have an idea to frame him for a theft or an assault. Okay. And you want this criminal contact of Dorian's to be the one to plant or accuse him of said crime.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know the specific details.
Neither
that is
do I.
minutia my brain cannot consider. I think this should come down to a roll.
Yep. That's what I was definitely thinking, is that, Dorian, I need you to convince your contact to essentially get assaulted by Cash at some point and call the cops about it. So, I need that to be a charisma persuasion via phone call to your contact.
Would this count as a negotiation?
Yes, because you would be negotiating a price, which would be pretty steep, because he doesn't want to get anywhere close to the cops.
Yeah. He can get some fall guy to do it for him. But here we go.
Okay, are you happy with 4?
You know what? Mr. Winters doesn't come to me very often, so I will willpower. So that is 6.
Okay. It's a hefty price. It's a hefty price, Dorian. Because what you're essentially asking is for him to have one of his guys take a fall, potentially get caught for his own crimes, just to get punched in the face by a Fed. So, The price is simple. $250,000. The job is yours.
Jesus, that is steep.
Mm-hmm. That'll tie up 1 dot of your resources. Which means essentially for a month you'd be reduced to 3. Which may or may not affect some of the purchases you were planning for later on. So, do you pay the man? Or do you not?
That is steep.
Essentially, that's the kind of profits he would make from this man over the course of a year if this guy's going to get locked up. Alongside cash. Potentially.
Nah, Dorian's a businessman. He wouldn't let that something that expensive for something so simple. All right, Plan B. I'll talk to Mr. Winters. My contact wants entirely too much money, so I'll be handling this personally.
Personally?
Yes.
How so?
All I have to do is get him to hit me.
See, Mr. Resner, I'm... Look. I don't know if you... I know you're typed in to have this whole thing. The facade and whatnot being some kind of wall, but when a man takes a couple punches to the face, I'm gonna be honest, ain't nobody got the kind of temper for that. Especially us. And he shows a bang when he does that. To really emphasize the point. I'm trying not to leave a trail.
Well, for the prices that they wanted to do this. Well, quite frankly, it was ridiculous.
So what's the deal? You're gonna get him all riled up and then he's gonna punch you in the face and then you're gonna cry out Bloody Mary.
You don't have to cry out as long as the proper authorities are within eyesight. Hell, they don't even have to be if it's in the right venue. Staff could hold and detain him till the police get there.
He cocks his head at that.
It's all about how you frame it.
So bring him here.
It could be done. If we have the place in our domain, if we want to do it somewhere safer.
I think you're onto something. I think you're onto something, because I know a couple drunkards I met in my time that we didn't do too well in the grand stage witness their fiasco, so. Alright. Alright. I bring him here. Think you can get him riled up? I'll leave it to you. Just again, it's just trying to handle the situation without it getting messy.
I understand.
Nods at Dorian. And you kind of see in his eyes, there's this like. His eyes narrow a bit. Almost as if he's trying to size you out. There's some sort of judgment that's going on there. He shakes it off with a lilt to his eyebrow. Slight shake to his head and looks at the door. Alright. I'm gonna be bringing the man over tonight, so I'll be right on that thing.
Get a couple drinks into him.
Get him a couple drinks in. What do I owe you for this?
We'll figure something out. I know people don't like to do things just out of the goodness of their heart, and other people feel better if they have everything squared away, so...
Ain't too bad, Mr. Risker. Ain't too bad. He turns to the door, opens it. It's on downstairs and leaves the club before the lights start to flicker ominously.
As they already started to have.
Thank God they're rave lights. Folks in here can't tell the difference.
Mm-mm. Not at all.
Is that what he tells himself?
Mm-hmm. Starts a rave every time he walks into a room. So,
Just strobe lights, but it's only the abyss.
So, what is the plan for that then? Dorian's going to go and knock on Cash's door? Is that the plan?
Pretty much, if I can goad him into hitting me.
Well, we shall have to see. So are you going to him, or is he coming, or is he being...
He's coming to the club.
Okay. So, Aaron, are you calling him to get him to come to the club?
Calling, he says. No, I'm going straight to his house.
Oh, okay. I was
You know this.
a little
I can't use
unawares.
phones.
Fair.
The ancient art of smoke signals.
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe already knows. He just wants to rub it in.
Just like my ball taught me.
Ah, yes. Rub salt in the wound, as a good DM should. So, you head your way out to Cash's place. But you also find that Cash, his vehicle's gone. He's not home.
Well. Interesting. I'm gonna stick to the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I necessarily have any shadow walking or anything. Do I have shadow walking? Do I?
I don't know.
I have shadow cloak +2 to stealth rolls. I'ma take it.
Okay.
I'm a shadow walk.
You go shadow walk.
I'm shadow walking. I'm shadow walking towards, basically stealthing towards the window, and I'm going to peek in, try and get an idea of if there's evidence that he's moved out or anything like that. If he's gone anywhere. What's going on with that?
Okay. You peek into the house. You see that there's still furniture around. Go ahead and make me a wits awareness to spot anything else.
Oh God. I'm gonna blood surge.
Okay.
We'll just eat the cost of
A little
this means
hungrier.
a little hungrier. Back to 3.
Back to 3.
Back to
Little
3.
in, little out.
But I need to know any evidence whether or not he is there or gone. I need confirmation. So. And of course, my roll sucks balls. 1 success. I've already sacrificed too much. I can't re-roll it.
It looks about the same as the last time you were here. Which is to say, he's not packed anything. So far as you can tell.
Fuck.
But that's in the dim light, and you're not entirely sure.
That gives me confirmation that he's still around. Just not here. Shit. I have no easy way of tracking him down. I do know his phone number. I've just been reluctant to give it out.
Fair. You've been reluctant to use a phone ever since you've been changed, too.
Well, the reluctance is because 9 times out of 10, it don't work.
Or shorts out shortly after you've started dialing a call.
Folks don't hear me on the other side, so. Back to my truck. Trying to think where he might have gone. How it is I could possibly cut him off on this.
Well, let's think about the last conversation that you had with him.
Told him to leave.
You insisted on it. You insisted on it very, very persuasively.
Question is whether or not he would have actually done it.
Make an intelligence insight. Let's see what you recall about that interaction. Because it has been a little while.
You're asking for an ass cheek roll.
No, it's... He was adamant about staying, that's for sure. You were very adamant about him leaving. That much you know.
Problem is that I know I wouldn't be so caught up in it if it wasn't for the fact that I know he's fucking stupid.
He's kind of a big softy. He's not exactly the ironclad hunter that your father was at one point in his life. But if there's anything true about the Winters family, including Cash Jackson, it's that they're stubborn.
Shit. Alright.
So
I
based
gotta
on what
figure
you
out-
know that he knows, what do you think he would do? Your role sadly cannot help you today.
Me as a player, I know precisely what happened. I still remember.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is that Aaron, I'm working through it as Aaron, and Aaron is not liking it, and he doesn't want to admit it. He does not want to admit it. Fuck! Alright. Starts his car. Or at the truck.
Mm-hmm.
He's... He knows he knows Cash is probably gonna be at that rate. If there's a second Inquisition, fucking turn out for that. Cash is gonna be there. There's like fuck nothing he can do about it now. He just has to be there before any of the other kindred.
So, Aaron Winters, what do you do?
Keep it to myself. Keep it to myself. I'm gonna take myself back to Mr. Resner's and pour it in that situation's handled. I don't need the help anymore. Bites his own lip. Some vitae coming out. Sheer frustration as he white knuckles the steering wheel and can hear it creaking. Almost near the point of breaking.
Stupid idiot boy.
Damn it! He returns to the club. Not in any good mood.
Indeed, not at all. You go back to the club. You are greeted once again by the bartender, but the bartender notices that you are indeed in a very sour mood, simply points you towards the stairs, towards the VIP room.
I head on up. Knock on the door again.
Come in.
I enter, shut the door behind me. Mr. Resner.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I don't necessarily mean to sidestep you here on what we talked about earlier, but I won't be needing any sort of additional services tonight.
Do I
Thank you for
notice
your
that
help.
something's perturbing him?
Well, Aaron, I don't think you have exactly the strongest composure, do you?
No,
it's moderate.
It's only 2. It's average.
Okay. Do you want to hide what you're currently feeling?
Aaron is not stoic. He's country boy. He's big, strong boy. He's tough guy. But he's not. He's very wear his heart on his sleeve kind of dude. I don't know if I've made that apparent this entire time.
Yeah, it's very clear that there is something the matter, as you've seen that look. You've made that look before. That look when something isn't going quite right. But you're trying to remain calm.
Dorian's going to kind of put his paperwork down and straighten up the pile and kind of cross his hands on his desk. All right, what's wrong? What happened?
What happened is, situation is, there's nothing I can do at the moment. Couldn't find the guy, so just gotta wait for him a bit. Not happy about it per se, but
Okay.
Mr. Resner, you got folks important to you. People.
There are some that I do care about, yes.
Take damn good care of them. With that, he's just gonna exit back down the stairs and exit the club.
Okay.
There's a good part of him that just, there's so much he wants to fix right now, but there's nothing he can do. There's fucking nothing he can do. And the only thing he can honestly control in this situation is that incessant urge to just vice grip anything in front of him. Any sense of power that he could possibly muster, just take that in his hands and crush it. He's swallowing that.
It would feel kind of good to crush in Cash's head right now.
Shut the fuck up.
Big stupid idiot. Getting himself involved. I told him not to do it. I told him, and now he's being a stupid idiot. Now I just want to punch his face in and really get him dead.
I'll take some minutes instead. And I'm gonna go on another hunt.
Okay. Going on another
This time,
feeding
Alley
hunt.
Cat.
Okay.
We're going Alley Cat.
Going Alley Cat.
Going Alley Cat.
Okay. We'll make this a quick roll. Then we'll find out what Alex and Shriek are up to.
Yay. I'll go the Strength Brawl route.
Strength brawl approach. Alright.
Strength Brawl. Oh, God.
That's 5.
That's
No, that's
more than 5, my guy. That's a fuck ton.
That's a 7 on a crit.
Did I get it?
Did I get it? Yes, you did.
Did I get it?
Maybe a little too well. It's not a messy crit. But you're not... You're going Alley Cat. You're not being nice to this person. You're taking a little bit of your anger out on them. Any old schmuck will do. In fact, this schmuck kind of looks like Cash.
Grab him by the collar and I rip him into the wall. The moment I do, I throw my fist directly into it, crushing the very fucking cement next to his face.
Start going off on this guy how you want to simply ruin him for being a stupid fucking idiot.
You goddamn fucking dumbass!
And you sink your teeth in. And it's not kind. The euphoria of the kiss doesn't do it for you tonight. No, the anguish of a twisted arm into a position that wrist really shouldn't go is more your taste tonight. Nothing supernatural of any kind, but definitely painful.
Can I, roll resonance by chance? I know it's a far shot, but this is my second hunting roll. I want it.
Yep, we can roll for a resonance.
Alright. Just a 1d10 first, and then we'll figure out. It's a 3.
Yeah, it's not particularly strong. A little
Nice
bland.
For funsies, with a flavor. Hey, shakes.
Let's see what that would be, because I'm not 100% sure. Let's look it up. Melancholic. This person's a little down on their luck. They're a little sad. Maybe a little more so now that the pain's kind of dripping through their whole system.
He's sad. He's sad. He has no fucking right to be sad. Alright, yeah. I'm gonna take 2 dots and just leave this poor schmuck down on the street. I do raid his wallet, take some cash.
Okay.
This is how I'm getting mine.
You
This is
have
how I'm getting
successfully
by with
mugged a random individual off the street who looks a little bit like your cousin.
it. I am a bully. Aaron is a bully.
Leaving
Yes,
this
he-
man dazed, confused, and in pain.
Not my problem.
Not your problem.
Not my problem.
Not your problem at all. You've got bigger fish to fry, Mr. Winters. Speaking of fish, Shriek. What are you up to today, Shriek?
Well, can't very well end up him missing out on all the fireworks. At this point, after gaining contact with, well, all the means at my disposal, trying to tip off the right individuals, let everything set up as my contacts and all such will allow. I am at this point reaching into my own set of contacts. Now, my contacts differ a little bit from my contacts differ just a little bit from Mr. Resner's. I am currently using my contacts in the dispossessed. 1 dot. All I need is a little bit of information. Just unusual sightings of the given location where this is all going to go down. I'm just making sure I'm keeping an ear out for when I think that the Second Inquisition is going to end up making their move. With that in mind, I've also ended up contacting Madame to end up checking in on my behalf to Jade and the rest of them in order to end up seeing on how they're going about when it ends up coming down to the new clinic coming up. I am also trying to end up seeing what I can end up doing as far as, well, gain a nice view of the area. I'm not a fighter. Never been my thing. But what is my thing is being able to end up spotting trouble and seeing what we can end up doing with it. It's always all the fun in the world.
Indeed. When it comes to the clinic, Jade will then tell Madame that the renovations of the place have been coming along quite nicely, that staff should be setting up shop to resume business within a week or so. Little slower than probably would have been liked, but still well within the normal kind boundaries that one would hope for in a situation like this. Not raise any suspicions.
All the time in the world.
No suspicions or anything like that. Just.
What about my contacts with the dispossessed, the homeless? There's a fair amount. Let's be honest here. We're not exactly in the best of neighborhoods, with good reason. So I'm using that to end up trying to end up keeping an eye out for anything that sounds like it might be Second Inquisition involved. You know, darling, the whole black vans loading up, people who don't normally hang around coming about. You know, the usual.
Yeah, in that particular case, you do hear of an instance where a van did kind of swing through the neighborhood. But then, really, more of them started hanging around the hospital. After all, your contact is a little well-traveled in this particular neighborhood, getting all the way to the college hospital. They don't go on campus, mind you, because the campus body already is aware of their particular situation. But from afar,
you'd be amazed at what a 40 will buy you.
A couple of strange vehicles, a couple of strange people.
Good. And I think I'm going to end up finding myself, well, I think I'll end up trying to find myself not so close, but a nice little vantage point to watch this all go down, just in case I'm called upon. At the very least, I like to be insightful. That being said, outside of that, I am going to end up making call at this point to Mr. here Resner at this point. At this exact moment in time. Hopefully I didn't catch him too flat-footed.
Mr. Resner, you get a call just as Aaron was leaving.
Hello.
How's it going, Dorian, darling?
Freak, always a pleasure. What can I do for you?
Well, I am currently on my way to observe a little happenstance I think is about to end up going down. I thought it might be big on you, and, well, you'd end up preparing for a little bit of an aftermath. Expect a little bit of a shake-up going down in our locale. Hearing about black vans going all around is starting to make all the natives restless. And bluntly, I'd just rather not end up having to end up dealing with the fact that I'm all going to be out here by my lonesome as I try and end up documenting the whole thing. I figured a enterprising man such as yourself might want to end up keeping his own eyes on the place. Maybe through a particular cowboy that we both know. Besides,
That can be arranged, I think.
well, trying to get, you know how he is. He breaks cell phones wherever he goes, so, I thought of getting in touch with you, going on. Besides,
Give me 1 second, and I'm going to put you on hold for a second. I'm going to call down to the front desk and get them to catch him at the door. And send him back up.
You hear the
I
voice.
had already left at that point because I did the hunting roll.
You hear the voice of your bar manager, Andrea, on the line. I'm sorry, sir. I believe he's already left the premises.
Okay.
Should I
Thank
call
you.
after him?
Sorry. I'll do it. I need to go out anyways. Thank you.
As you wish.
This is the worst on hold music I've ever had to listen to. I swear I can feel it melting my brain out of my ears. Dear God, I think I've just forgot my childhood.
Shriek, sorry about that. I was trying to
Oh,
catch-
you're back. Oh, okay. You have to change that on hold music. Dear God, that is enough to end up making most people lose it. I'm not usually one to pick. Really, I'm not. But that I can't I can handle eternity. I can't handle eternity with that.
What do you have against the Cure?
Please. I am a man of class. But figured I'd let you know. I'm gonna end up calling our local bookworm, see what's going on that front, and try and end up figuring this out. I just figured you might want to, I don't know, keep an ear out to what might be going on. I'll keep you informed, but well,
I'll go find our cowboy friend.
Well, while you end up doing that, I'm gonna end up going book shopping. Doodles.
Good night.
Kisses. He hangs up.
I'll go out to my car and I'll go look for Aaron.
His vehicle is long gone.
While that happens, I'm gonna end up going to call Alex.
Alex.
I figured I'm literally going to drive around and look for him.
Okay. We'll come back to that in a moment.
It'll give you some space.
Alex, you're getting a phone call from your good friend Shriek.
I imagine she's already in the car, going to pick up a little present for their friend. So when she answers, you can hear the subtle rumble of her engine as she's driving.
Honey,
Hello?
the muffler is not supposed to be here scraping the pavement. I can hear that from here.
I haven't had a time to get a service, all right? What can I do for
can
you?
service.
I'm sure you can.
No. Please, just because yours is cobwebs.
Excuse me.
But I'm not wrong. You ain't that cute, darling. So,
I'll have you know that I'm plenty.
is that the affirmation you wake up to every night? Okay, I can play that game too, but that's besides the point. So right now they're money bags going to end up getting the cowboy. They're gonna end up wanting to end up hanging around here. You, on the other hand, I think might enjoy the aftermath. I think right now you would be very interested to keep an eye on the big dog. After all, since he ended up coming in charge, probably his best hand at making sure we're on his good side. And see where his head's at. You know how he can be a little on occasion. I don't want him to be having one of those nights. I'm very concerned.
Well, I guess I'll go check on our large and in charge friend.
No.
Speaking of, I'm currently in the process of picking up that present that we discussed last.
Oh.
Is there anything you need me to pick up while I'm out?
At this exact moment, no. Unless you have a bit of luck of the Irish in you, but for some odd reason, I doubt that. You can't exactly bottle that last time I checked, but if there's anybody who I trust to find out they can, it's you!
Alright. Well, in which case, I'll see you later, Shri.
Aw. Okay. Love you. Kisses!
Bye, Shriek.
With that, Shriek starts making himself getting himself to the location. Probably a rooftop, something he can just view from a distance, just to watch the fireworks and see on how everything operates. If everything operates smoothly, hopefully he doesn't have to get involved. But if he does, well, he just kind of looks at himself as he realizes skin is just barely healed over a lot of his wounds. Maybe discretion is the better part of valor.
Which is, I think, a great place for us to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll see if the dominoes have indeed fallen in the right positions. Be back soon, everybody. Welcome back, everyone, to Blood and Iron, Dead Man's Hand. Where we had left off, the coterie, the Dead Man's Hand, was collecting a few things before going off and making their way through the rest of the night. We were going to catch up with Alex, who had a present for a specific kindred in their domain, but she also struggles with a little bit of hunger tonight. And so, as part of her goings-on for the evening, she is seeing if her criminal connection can get her in touch with a little bit of a bag of blood. Something stolen from a nearby hospital, per se. So, Alexandra, I need you to make me your traditional feeding roll. Just to see if your little contact can get something on such short notice.
Ew.
Ew.
Can I re-roll 2 of those?
If you roll 2 of those and get a crit, you would succeed. Otherwise, you would not. So I can let you succeed
gonna
at a
try.
cost.
You know what? I will try, and if I can't get it, I can't.
Because that's the only way you're going to get it. Nope, that's 2.
Nah. Okay.
No luck.
No worries.
But the present that you ordered is, in fact, in good order. It comes in a case, metal case. One that you suspect has all the little pieces kind of taken apart for the moment, but certainly presentable to the individual you wish to dote upon. Maybe earning yourself a little good favor.
She thanks the dealer.
Mm-hmm.
Slips it, hikes it, more like, lifting it up with both hands, because, oh my god.
It's heavy.
And she kind of almost throws it in the most gentle way possible into the boot of her car. She's not a particularly strong individual.
Which kind of maybe causes your contact to, cringe a little. Ugh. Before they quickly walk away from the situation.
And then she is going to climb in the driver's seat and head over to Gerard.
Okay. He's normally found at his bar. And tonight it looks as if he is there. But also another good friend of yours by the name of Aaron Winters is also there. And when you walk in on them, Aaron, you see you and Gerard have been, conducting a little bit of small talk as you've been sitting here for a moment. And he kind of leans into you and says, "So you've been wanting to ask about Artemis. Is that right?"
That's correct.
So, what do you want to know?
Just... You said you knew her.
Last I saw her was maybe a year and a half or so from now, I guess. Something like that. I've lost a little bit of track of time, but last I saw her, she was still kicking.
Still kicking. Was she, by persuasion?
Yeah. ain't the only one of your family either.
I'm starting to realize it's kind of a dangerous business for that.
Well, certainly seems that a Winter's family is bound to become kindred at some point in their existence. You either hunt them, or you become them. And the true same is true of Artemis and her sister.
He blinks at Gerard, and very purposefully. Sister too.
Hmm.
Oh shit. Ugh. So are they. Play for red team or blue team?
Red team or blue team?
White team or black flag team. I don't know how else to put it.
I'm not sure I follow the question.
White team implies ivory tower. Black flag team implies anarch because black is traditional for
Oh,
rebellion. Yeah. Out of character.
Gerard wouldn't have known that.
And Aaron just looks disgruntled. He's like, oh.
One of each, I guess.
One of each.
Hell if I know. I don't know what's going on with them anymore. The last person that I saw from Edmonton was Luca, and he was down here a month ago. And that's the first I'd seen him since I left. I didn't even know if he was still around.
Yeah. Saw him at a big old social gathering. Couple
He's
weeks
a better
back,
person to ask about that kind of shit.
Probably.
But he's only here every once in a while. I can let him know you
Yeah.
want to know. Set up a meeting or something. You know, what's the current goings on in Edmonton?
You could. Or you could continue to just chat with me.
I mean, if you enjoy chatting with me, I guess. Sure. I'm not exactly the most small talky of persons.
Yeah. Like sitting at a table at a bar. Like opening a can of beer. Like watching over your folk. You're a grumpy ass old man, too. Remind me of my pa.
Nothing like your paw.
He quirks an eyebrow at that.
I ain't no kindred killer.
I think we all end up being some, anyways. At one point or another.
Well,
Either that or you get turned into jerky.
I only do that with hog and deer and sometimes beef.
I should get a hold of, I should actually get a hold of Artemis.
Get a hold of what?
Still talk to her? Artemis, you still talk to her at all?
Nah, I haven't talked to her in a year and a half.
This Luca guy does.
Well, he's the closest thing I've got to Edmonton at this moment.
You'd wager you'd actually be keeping tabs on her? Her and her sister?
Her, maybe. Sister, maybe. Then again, we didn't exactly end on close terms.
Worth a shot.
Speaking of shots, he looks over to Alex. Hey there.
Huh.
Evening.
Evening.
How are you fine gentlemen doing?
Just dandy.
I hear we're going to have a bit of happening in the city tonight.
He quirks a brow at you.
Aaron frowns. He doesn't know what's happening, but he frowns.
Now, what in the world could you be talking about, my little miss? He
Just really quickly,
sit in a seat next to him.
Just really quickly, I can't remember. Did Shriek mention that Dorian was looking for Aaron?
I honestly don't remember.
I'm going to assume he did.
I'm gonna assume he did.
By the way, I think Mr. Resner is looking for you, Aaron.
I was just at his pub. What the hell he want?
Oh,
You're not getting in trouble with the
it's what-
Ventru, are you?
no, I don't think it's him getting into trouble. Has
Oh,
to do with
Resner
those
gets into
happenings.
trouble with the Ventru on his own, thank you.
No, it has to do with those happenings. Speaking of which, you mentioned something interesting to me last night, Gerard.
mm-hmm.
Or more to Shriek. You said you were looking into some weaponry.
I might have mentioned it in passing. You know.
I have a gift for you.
A gift?
Mm.
What in the hell do I do to deserve some kind of gift?
Do I have to have a reason to give a gift to a friend?
Yeah, it usually comes with, I want you to do something else.
Well, you're not entirely wrong. It's currently in my vehicle. Would you two gentlemen like to accompany me?
I was about to head out and go and take care of something anyway. Why not?
Aaron nods. He gets up without any other questions. Gets out of the seat.
Alex will lead the two boys out to her car.
Mm-hmm.
And once they're out there, and Gerard has caught up and Aaron has caught up, she's going to pop the trunk.
I see a briefcase.
Oh, it's a sight bigger than just a briefcase.
It's a
Why don't you take a look?
very large briefcase. He kind of looks at you a little quizzically, like he's wondering if you've trapped it or something, but goes to go and open it anyway.
She waits. She's got this big cheeky grin on her face, just watching his reaction.
And Aaron, what you see inside the case as Gerard opens it up is what would put together to be a game rifle. The kind that you go hunting with. Well, shit. Seriously?
Yes. Seriously.
Good day. Classic Remington.
Yeah. Classic is a word for it. Vintage, more like.
Kind of weapon that you would be able to use, perhaps?
Not just able, I'm pretty proficient in it. It's a pretty close model to the one I used to own.
Perfect.
So you said something about happenings. What do you know? Did you and Shriek shit this whole thing up?
I know that Shriek wants me to go check in on our lovely big dog.
Mm-hmm.
Our overseeing party for the area.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming something has happened.
Funny, I'm meant to be doing the same thing.
Oh?
Yeah. Been observing for a couple of nights, and, well, let's just say some things are getting a little toasty.
I see. Well, in that case, perhaps we could go together.
Alright.
I would certainly feel far more comfortable with two big, strong men on either side of me.
Mm. So, Mr. Winters, do you want to do the honors of protecting the little lady?
That's what I'm best at.
Good.
So, Miss Jenkins, Alexandra. Shall we be off then?
Yeah.
I'm meant to
Yes,
be
I believe we
observant
shall.
from afar, so I'll give you cover fire if you need it. But only if we need it.
Of course. I think we should scope out what's happening before setting foot. I don't know about you boys, but I don't feel like jumping straight into the frying.
I've jumped into a frying pan before.
I know you have.
Wasn't exactly fun.
No. And once you're in the frying pan, well, more often than not, you also end up in the fire.
That's
I think all three of us would like to avoid that.
typically how the saying goes. I'm imagining we're going to find Mr. Resner there too.
I will send Mr. Resner a message.
Alright.
Letting him know that Mr. Winters is joining you and I.
Alright.
Alex is going to step away from the two boys, and she's actually going to give Dorian a call.
Okay.
Namely, stepping away from Aaron because Aaron.
You'd like it to work.
Would. Would indeed. Dorian, you get a call.
Hello.
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 I believe you are in search of a friend of ours.
If he's wearing a hat, I think you might be right.
Well, our lovely little cowboy is with me and Gerard. And at this point, we are going to go check in on tonight's little soiree.
Okay, I think I can make it. I'll meet
I
you there.
assume I'm under the assumption that Shriek has said more to you.
You could assume that.
Well, I'm going to put trust in what he's said. I'll see you there.
At least it won't be boring.
Oh, it never is.
And I'll hang up and I'll start heading towards the location.
Okay. Does Dorian know what that location is?
I'm assuming Shriek told him where to meet him.
Okay.
Because all Alex knows is that she's going to the hospital.
All right. Well, it seems that.
Well, if that's that, I would meet up and get our cowboy friend and go to where Shriek wanted us to go.
Okay. Which Alex and Gerard are with Aaron, so you can pick them all up if you want.
Okay. I'll
So-
drive one of my SUVs.
Ah, yes. One of your more discreet vehicles.
Yes. Can't always take an Audi.
No. Opting for the Escalade instead. So, meaning that we should determine where Shriek is at the moment. I believe you are sitting in your little perch waiting for events to unfold.
Seems to be the case.
And oh, shall they be. You sit in a perch outside where you believe the primary sort of entry into the hospital and down into the depths where you believe the storage facility would be. The storage facility of the unfortunate. Those bound to serve the Camarilla in their own way. Hanging around outside, you imagine that there are others taking up their places on the board. You imagine maybe yourself as the player and the chess pieces falling into line. You've seen the brief period that you've been here, vehicles come and go. None of any particular importance. None of any of the note that you're looking for. Simply those who are coming and going from the hospital on their day-to-day. Before long, you see a familiar vehicle. If maybe it's a little bit on the richier side of an SUV. Something that Dorian believes to be a more, shall we say, discreet vehicle. Pouring out of which being your lovely coterie mates and Gerard. They seem to have joined him.
Well, didn't expect them to all come out of the party van, but hey, I'll take it. Curiosity, though. What is dear little Alex doing with them? Now that going to be interesting. Kind of curious on how Gerard's going to end up playing this without being spotted. But, hey, not my play. Trust the process. I think that's what most artists say.
Indeed.
Trust the process.
Trust the process. After a while, all of you with your head on a swivel, Gerard having taken up a position and started to put together his rifle, somewhere a little obscure, somewhere a little out of sight, up in a tree perhaps, a very tall tree.
Should have figured.
If I might, during this little waiting time,
And
out of
you
sight.
muted.
Oops.
Okay, now we can hear you.
You can hear me again?
Now I can. Yep.
You just
Okay. So Alexandra is going to set up her own little spot a little bit off to the side, a little bit out of sight. She's going to go digging through her bag.
Okay.
And she's going to dig out a cigar cutter. You know those little circular cutters that they use to chop off the end of a cigar?
Mm-hmm.
She's going to pull one of those out.
Okay.
She's going to pull out a few things, including a golden bowl. And she is going to start performing a ritual. She's going to call Aaron across because Aaron is probably one of the more close range people amongst them. And she's also going to pull out a box of matches. And she's going to perform the Firewalker ritual. For the first time ever. I'm probably going to stuff it up.
As a performing Firewalker.
Yes.
So what else does that entail, my good friend?
So she is going to... Do you want to know the mechanics of it or what she's doing?
What is she doing?
She's going to take that cigar cutter. She's going to apply it to the tip of her finger. And she is going to snip it off.
I believe you do have to do a willpower test in order to be able to do that, to perform that on yourself.
Yes, I do believe it is. Stamina resolve.
Yep, stamina resolve. And that's even before the ritual has a chance to fire off.
Yep.
How could this possibly go wrong?
It could go very wrong. Modifiers, let's see how bad this is. Hey! Difficulty 3, so I'm gonna willpower that one.
I will allow you to succeed at a cost.
What's the cost?
Something goes horribly wrong for Gerard.
Oh. No. I'm gonna willpower reroll.
Okay, you got
Hey!
your 3.
Yep, okay, beautiful. So she cuts off her fingertip. And then it's a ritual roll.
Erin, you watch as she takes a cigar cutter and snips off the end of her finger. Reluctantly, but it happens.
You notice there's like a wince as she holds it over the bowl and she just...
He narrows his eyes. He doesn't necessarily react, but move or anything, but he does narrow his eyes and kind of looks at Alex, trying to get a read on if she's okay or not.
Okay. And it is a intelligence and blood sorcery test.
Yep.
Difficulty equaling ritual level +1, so it would be a difficulty of
Difficulty how much?
4 because it's a level 3
Difficulty
ritual.
4. Okay. You have
Hey!
made your successful blood sorcery roll. Don't forget to rouse for the ritual.
Let's hope that my rouse doesn't flex me.
Not any hungrier.
Oh, nice. Beautiful. Okay.
So you mix this fingertip, your vitae that you've already opened a wound for.
And she basically sets it alight. Bluish flame consumes the blood and the fingertip, which is supposed to signal the completion of the ritual.
Which it does. It goes off like you imagined it would.
She looks up at Aaron. Says, "You should be resistant fire now."
I should be what? Hold on. What the hell did you do to me? And he just like pats his jacket, his chest all over the place. I was like trying to find if something has changed.
Now, the ritual doesn't require you to have taken something from Aaron, does it?
It does not say that it does.
Okay. So as you toss the match into the bowl, you were, pressing your fingers against him to make sure that he was your target. And the bowl goes alight. Aaron, you feel no different. But she did something?
Quirks an eyebrow at her.
She's
How-
going to offer him the box of matches.
Takes it.
If you would like to use it.
Sorry, I'm just it's just matches. He holds it up.
Even just looking at those matches makes your skin crawl a little bit.
Is it just normal matches or
Yes. It's normal matches.
okay? I can't tell what you're doing half the time. So
The idea is that, say somebody throws a Molotov at you for some reason. We are particularly flammable. But this should make you less so.
let's see.
Maybe it's the way that she said should. Maybe it's the way that she said less so. As if questioning whether that's actually going to be the truth.
In Aaron's mind, he's just gonna resolve to not fucking walk into fire.
Doesn't want to try it. Doesn't want to test it. Nope.
Why would he? Why should he?
No. Not at
Even
all.
if it does work, there's no reason.
None whatsoever.
He just nods slowly, kind of a bewildered look on his face. Okay. Thank you. And he
Well.
stores the matches in his jacket.
I figure if anything goes wrong, you are probably going to be one of the ones in the firing line.
It's true. And, he just kind of like pulls up his shirt a bit, and you can see that he's got his gun holstered just into his belt line there. Just a handgun. He didn't bring his big shotgun. Sad. Sad.
Even
Just
still,
hobbies.
please try not to get caught on fire.
Well, it's not exactly something I intend to plan at any time, regardless of my condition. Breathing or not.
Yes, well. Yes. Anyway,
Alexandra,
yes.
there's something I've been wanting to ask.
Yes.
Can I call you Lex?
You know? Sure.
He brings a hand up and just gives her a firm grip on her shoulder.
She kind of looks at it. Like she's not quite sure what to do with this familiarity that has come up.
Gives her like a gentle shake. Nods at her. You can see there's an effort to be earnest, but he's not charismatic or good at any of this social interaction thing. Thanks, Lex.
You're welcome, I think.
And he's just gonna go ahead, bring his hands down to his side, and look at the hospital. It's what we're looking at here. All of this. What am I looking for?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure.
He thinks about it, and he's gonna scan the area for any strange vehicles.
Go ahead and make me a wits awareness.
His first initial effort is just to try and...
And Shriek, you can also make a wits awareness from your perch.
May I also?
You may also. Anyone who would like to may. Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
My dice do not like me.
Is Dorian getting in on this, or?
Sorry, my
We lost him for a
internet
sec.
cut out.
Oh, no
What
problem.
are we rolling for?
Wits awareness to see if you can spot some strange vehicles,
Sure.
if you would like to. Okay.
You know what? Let's do it. I'm gonna re-roll so that I can see what's going on.
Okay. So Dorian's got a 5. Dorian, you're the first one to see it. There's a strange black van. Seems to have pulled up just recently. Seems to have just turned off its engine. From what you can tell from this distance. as the lights go off on it. It's kind of nestled into the darkest corners of the parking lot. That's why possibly it isn't until you point it out to Alex and Aaron that they see it as well. Shortly after the car's parked, a few individuals in some dark clothing. You can't really make out the details from here because there's no light. But they're silhouetted against the backdrop of the vehicle. You're not able to listen in on any conversation going on. But they're from the side door that you see them open and then close. You do see that there is some kind of light on the inside of that vehicle. Before it's closed, and there are 6 individuals who have come out of the back seat of this thing.
Fantastic. Do they look like they're all geared up?
You can't tell from here. They just look like black silhouettes against the black truck. Or black van. And because it's so far away, you don't hear anything either. They seem to have a brief conversation with one another before a couple of them start walking towards the building.
I'm gonna let them go on in. I ain't doing anything yet. I'm waiting for a do I have Shriek in my line of sight? Do I know where he is in this?
I don't know. Shriek, are you making yourself known to your cutter
Oh
mates?
no, he is very much
Okay.
pretending as though he is not here.
Yep.
All right.
He's already done all the legwork. At this point, he just wants to watch the fireworks.
All right. He's gonna let. Okay. Then I know how Aaron's gonna handle this. He's gonna let the folks go on in. He's gonna wait about, give or take, 30 seconds. He remains calm, collected. And he's just gonna bring himself from leaning off the vehicle and start heading in.
Okay. Aaron, you make your way towards the entrance of the building. Shortly after the individuals that first left the premises, or left the vehicle and entered in. When you enter in, this kind of seems more like a side entrance. You think that somebody is supposed to have met you here. There's this whole reception counter, this whole intake room that you enter in, but there's nobody here.
Ain't that too damn bad. I motion towards the fire alarm and I pull it.
Okay, you pull the fire alarm. The alarm starts to go off. And go off.
Yep. with the fire alarm going off, usually certain emergency provisions are performed. Locks on doors are usually undone within a hospital setting.
Okay.
This is minutia I know because I worked in a hospital.
Okay. So all of the standard locks that would normally require keycard entry are unlocked, so far as you know.
Fire safety. Can't have that hazard.
Nope, cannot.
So, with the usual locks undone, he's just gonna walk, sticking close to the walls. What he's gonna do is, no one gave him any information, which is great. He's going to consider where these individuals might have trekked to. This is a side entrance into the hospital. And there's some sort of provisional warehouse. I'm not sure. Coffee, no one gave him any information.
No, he's going in there blind.
He's going in so blind. Were we supposed to just scout this situation?
I don't know that Aaron knows that.
That's what was suggested.
As far as I understand it, this is just going off what I ended up sending to Gerard. Was Gerard's there to end up being kind of the quiet backup for the two that are supposed to be handling this situation, but
All right.
quiet was the operative word. And now this is going better than I could have hoped.
Something strange, though, Aaron. Why do you see no one trying to leave out this exit?
The hell?
You have the intake desk, you have the waiting room, you have the one set of doors that leads to the rest of the hospital. Why is no one exiting out this way?
He's gonna try and find...
You definitely hear the footsteps of people trying to exit and leave.
Yeah.
And you can wait for an opportune moment to slip past them, but no one's leaving out this door. And this is the closest exit to some of those footsteps you hear.
Okay, me as a player am trying to discern what the fuck I'm supposed to do. Give me a second and fixate on someone else while I think.
Sure. Alex and Dorian, what are y'all doing?
I don't know what's going on right now because my internet keeps dropping in and out.
Aaron has walked into the hospital and pulled the fire alarm, so you hear that from the outside. You see that people are indeed leaving out the front entrance to escape this fire alarm. And that's what you see as well, Shriek. No one's coming out the exit that Aaron went into.
I wouldn't have let him go in alone. I probably would have backed him up.
Okay. So you want to be there with him? Okay.
Yeah, I'll be there with him. I wouldn't let someone go alone.
Before Dorian goes in, Alex turns to him and says, "Leave the keys."
They're in the ignition.
Perfect.
All right.
I'm just not gonna address the vehicle that these people clambered out of.
So Dorian and Aaron are together inside the hospital building. You both notice that no one is exiting, Aaron having pulled the fire alarm. No one's exiting out this exit. You do hear the footsteps of those walking by. And
Now, you said that there was a like a greeting desk there.
yep, it's like an intake desk, like this would be an emergency, like an ER entrance, but it's not full. There's no
I'm
one
going
here.
to go behind there, and I'm going to grab some visitors tags, or if they left behind their lanyards or anything.
Well, the fire alarm would have disabled all the locks.
I know. I just want to look the part.
Okay. So you have the badges for using as you see fit.
And I'll just start walking and following errands. Like,
Cool.
all right.
Yeah.
He
He's
has
gonna
a-
lead you to the nurse's station, most likely.
Okay.
Usually centered. You said this was kind of like an ER emergency room area.
Yeah, kind of, almost like a,
Okay.
or maybe like a non-emergency entrance. More like, in that it's a
Like an
smaller
employee
waiting
entrance?
room, not an employee entrance, no, but still a patient intake. Where if it's not an emergency, then you come in through this door.
Okay.
So there's a waiting room. There's a desk to be let in, and then the doors beyond that to let you into the rest of the hospital. Normally with an escort, but there's no escort, and it kind of looks like this entrance hasn't been used in a while.
Aaron is looking around. He's trying to figure out if there was any particular way that group of 6 people might have gone down. In the meantime, he's just going to point to the like the nurse's station or the registration
Mhm.
area and be like, "If you could, see what you can pull from one of them computers there." And
All
go
right.
ahead and try and track some of these folks
So you're
we saw.
So Aaron's trying to determine which direction they went. Make me a wits and investigation, because this is going to be more based on what you can detect that.
I would like to blood search.
Bless you. You get hungrier, my friend.
Urge. Oh, fuck.
You're back at 4.
I'm not. I'm at 2. 'Cause I
Oh,
fed
yeah.
Twice.
That's right. You're at 2. Never mind.
Haha.
Haha. And it is late in the evening now, so.
And I will use willpower.
Okay.
Just 1. You roll 2 die. Because I want an answer to this. Okay, that's the best I could have hoped for.
Okay. 5 is pretty decent. 5
Yeah.
is decent indeed. So you're trying to determine where it is that these people are going. What are they here for? Why would they be here? Why would this be where they go? And it seems like this isn't just happenstance. This is at least the entryway being empty might have been planned. Somebody planned that there'd be no people at that entrance. You start to listen to see if you can hear maybe the footsteps of these 2 individuals. You think you hear something kind of down the hall. It kind of looks like it's an empty hallway. One where the lights are dimmed. Why would they dim the lights in a hospital? Why would they dim the lights in any section of this hospital? Maybe to make it look like this wing isn't being used? Certainly looks like this nurse's station hasn't been used in a while, Dorian, because all the computers are off. You go to check the power. They don't seem to turn on. You look at the plug. They're not plugged in. In fact, you run a finger across the keyboard. It's a little dusty.
Alright. If I don't see anything, I'll just go fall in behind Aaron and start looking around.
Okay. Following behind Aaron. Alex,
Stick
what are
close
you
to the
doing in the
walls.
moment?
She is simply sitting and waiting and keeping an eye out to see if anybody goes into the building through the entrance that the two boys just went.
Not yet. Although, what you do see is another van is pulled up.
She is going to get in the car and wait, phone in hand, waiting to see what they do.
For now, nothing. But two more individuals from the first van do look like they're going towards the building, but stop at the entrance and kind of look like they post up.
She is going to ring Dorian, let it ring twice, and then hang up.
I would have had my phone on silent.
This is her just sending them a warning.
Yeah.
You
I
feel the
would've- I
vibrations of your phone go off for a moment, but then you see that it was Alex and a missed call.
Alright, something's not right. I think we just got a warning.
Pause for just a second. Strafing along the wall, going further down this demon hall. Hold up a hand. Finger up. Now continue. Is there a room? Any rooms ahead of me?
There's rooms ahead of you, all of them dark as you pass them by.
I'm gonna keep my gun on my hand, on my trigger finger ready for a draw if I need to. And continue to creep forward. Peer into every room. Stopping just at the edge of it. Lean just barely to look into it.
Eventually you come to a hallway, Aaron. Also dark. There's the hallway that continues ahead of you, and then there's the hallway that goes to your right. All of the rooms that you've passed have been dark, unused. What do? You swear you heard the footsteps from before going down one of these hallways.
Shit. Keep creeping along. I got my senses on full alert. And I'm taking advantage of the fact that everything's fucking dark around me. I'm definitely using my shadow cloak.
Okay. You are extra stealthy in this dark light. Dorian, are you following him or are you staying behind?
Nope, I'm staying with them.
Staying with him? Okay.
see the shadow coming permeable around me. And still trying to follow the trail as far as I can. I'm gonna keep pushing until I'm satisfied.
You hear a noise to your right. Like the rustling of clothing? No, heavier than clothing. A jacket?
Pause. Keep myself to the wall. Hand on my hip on the gun.
You hear the of a drill. It drills through something metal. And then it stops. It's around the corner. Around the corner, they might be penetrating through a wall or a door, something.
I pull my gun. Without rounding the corner, I'm just gonna announce it. Security, come on out.
Charisma intimidation.
My charisma sucks. This is great. It's 3.
Who's there? You hear a distorted voice say.
Hospital security. I want to come on out and introduce yourself.
FBI, don't interfere.
So. My apologies, then, officer. If you don't mind coming out of there and showing me your badge.
You see one of the individuals step away from the door, go with their hands up. They go for their badge, open it up, and you do see an FBI badge.
They still in the dark?
Yeah, they're still in the dark. Kind of looks like they have headlamps on their foreheads, though.
And how many of them were there?
2.
I'm gonna reach around the corner, grab this man, and rip him out. Rip him out in front of me and smash him onto the floor.
Okay, then I need a strength brawl.
Oh god, it's on.
I'm just feeling like this is like horror movie monster style.
Yeah.
The thing in the dark.
Oh jeez. Oh my god. Does that work?
Get out of the way, my guy. You're in my way.
I'm not being gentle, by the way.
No, you're not. No, indeed you're not. You've got a crit. That's a 7 on a crit.
It's a 7 and I have lethal body.
Indeed. Indeed you do. So, you take this individual, and without even thinking twice, you take their head and you smash it through the glass on something metal, something glass, something sharp, doesn't matter. You smash their head straight through it. Without even giving it a second thought. Their badge still more or less in their hands at least shortly, until their body realizes that it no longer has a brain. And this body just crumples to the ground in a heap. And and I need and you see the person who is still at the door just kind of freeze and put their hands up.
I'll train my gun on him. I slowly approach him.
Stand down, officer.
I flip on the light. And it flickers. And he sees the shadow cling to me. FBI, huh?
Aaron?
Shit.
What the fuck? I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Oh, fucking Christ. And he goes,
Yep.
in a panic, he goes for his weapon.
Aaron keeps the gun trained on him. Don't you fucking pull it! Don't you fucking dare!
You're fucking one of them!
Son of a bitch! Cash, I told you to fucking leave!
You know I couldn't do that. Not when there are monsters out there, Aaron. Not like... The fuck?
Not like me, am I right? He walks towards him, gun still trained on him. And
Stay away from me!
Grabs his arm. He's not even, like... He just holds him like a child, essentially. Child lecturing him. I told you to get the fuck out of this city! I told you what kind of trouble you'd be getting into! You had no fucking clue!
I had every fucking clue. I'm here to do my job, Aaron.
This is not your fucking job! This isn't a fucking job, Cash. It's a death sentence. And I've been going fucking ballistic trying to save your ass.
I don't need you protecting me like when we were kids. And now that I realize that she was right... Holy fuck. They got to you. And they got to Uncle Harry.
They didn't... So much cash. Prisoner, I need damage control.
Sure. I'm gonna walk up and look him in the eyes.
Stay away from me. He averts his eyes.
Aaron's just gonna grab his head and force his eyes open and look at him.
He's doing everything in his power not to actually look at Dorian.
He literally cannot. Like, he can avert his eyeballs, but that.
He's averting his eyeballs as much as he can.
Damn it, Cash.
I won't. I won't.
Listen to me.
Stop it,
Listen.
Aaron.
No, you listen. This is. Cash, if it is not obvious yet, you need to know now what kind of curse you're getting into, and I'm gonna give you only one of two choices. You can choose, but these are the only realities you get from here on out. And it's not because I wanted them. Believe me, I have done everything I fucking could.
But they corrupted you. I can't trust you anymore, Aaron. I can't trust you anymore. I have to get rid of this place. This place is a stronghold, and I need to do my job. Your dad would want us to win against them.
My dad is dead. And I should be too.
And I'm doing everything I can to honor his memory. Him and your Uncle Harry. You're nothing but a blank body anymore.
God fucking damn it. No, he's just gonna smack Cash in the back of the head. Not with any intent to kill him, but with a reservation to just knock him out.
And he goes completely limp on the ground.
He picks him up, throws him over his shoulder, army style. Shit.
I take it this is who we were trying to talk to tonight.
Shit.
Well, I didn't expect you two to be here. You hear from behind you.
I'll turn around, hands in my pockets.
Mr. Winters, Mr. Resner.
Mr. Singleton. Evening.
It's a messy work you made down here.
Could be less of a mess. I got a fix. Just get this out. Just get all of them fucking out.
You're not going anywhere.
He glares at Singleton. He stays.
I can't have you openly defying the traditions now, can I?
It's not an open defiance. This one's a sacrifice.
Seems that one already knows too much.
Both ways, Mr. Singleton. He knows the enemy. Let me take care of him.
No. It's already evident that your judgment is clouded.
Fuck. Mr. Singleton.
Mr. Winters. It is important that you understand the levity. The weight of what it is that you're suggesting to me. You're suggesting I turn a blind eye to the traditions that I am meant to uphold.
I'm not asking you to turn a blind eye. I'm asking you to have the confidence in me that I want.
I do not.
If you need to sit there and fucking watch, you're more than welcome. Dorian, help.
Hmm. Now, there
Aaron
are
is not
ways
built
that-
for this.
Now, there are ways that we can solve this, but I do not think that it's prudent to handle them here with the alarm being pulled. This likely isn't going to stay private for very long.
Certainly not. Mr. Keller will be hearing about this.
Hearing about what? A bunch of Second Inquisition ended up on his property. Tell him. See how happy it makes him. Rip it.
Also, the ones who stopped them.
Certainly seems
Bring
like
it.
it was going to be Aaron who was going to take that individual.
We'll bring him to your lots, Mr. Singleton. But this one is mine.
Then destroy him now. If you insist that you must be the one to do it, then do it now.
And forgo the intel that we could gain.
Better that than suffer the other consequences.
That seems foolhardy and wasteful, though. Not forward-thinking for the future.
No, you misunderstand me. The reason that he should be destroyed now is because I am thinking ahead. If I do not quash this threat here and now, with you as my witnesses, then perhaps the reason that he would get away would be because of you. I
Under
can't.
your watch.
I
in
can't.
your lots.
No,
Then that's what I'm suggesting.
he's not going to make it that far.
Why not? I'll even take your vehicle.
Because I'm not leaving yet. This threat isn't over, Mr. Winters. I suggest... No, I will not be that kind. I am ordering you to leave.
Fuck. Just gonna put down cash. Just gonna lean him against a wall. snap one last glare at Singleton. He looks at Cash for a moment.
He's out cold, unconscious.
Just a stupid fucking idiot. In over his fucking head. Aaron raises his hand, gently pets his hair. Before he pulls his gun. Puts it to Cash's skull. He pulls the trigger.
With a loud pop. A bullet goes straight through that man's brain. Blood splattering against the wall behind him. Go out the emergency exit. Down that way. He points towards another hallway.
Aaron stands. His face cold. He walks out. Doesn't say another word.
Aaron has started walking, Dorian. What do you do?
I'm going to catch up with them. And when we get outside, I'm going to look at him. And do you look me in the eye?
Can't.
I'm going to say forget. And I'm going to use cloud memory.
He can't. I'm gonna resist.
Okay. Dorian, you're going to make your dominate roll, and Aaron, you're going to roll the resistance to that.
What is it again?
It is charisma dominate versus wits resolve.
Okay. Wits resolve for Aaron, charisma dominate for Dorian.
Right.
Fuck me.
You used your fortitude power. Is that the same?
No, it's
yeah,
not.
it would have been.
What?
It's the
It's
same
2
dice
dots.
pool? Okay.
It's same dice pool. Sorry, I put the thing in the wrong place and in the wrong drop down.
Okay. So it's 2 for Aaron and 7 on a crit for Dorian. So the last few minutes, meaning shooting, Cash, you don't remember. There was a hole in your memory there where that was, but you don't remember it, and you don't know what to fill that with. It's just blank.
Stop and look around. Open Mr. Resner. How'd we get outside?
We were told to leave by Mr. Singleton.
What was in there? Shuffles a bit to look back at the hospital.
We encountered a couple of Second Inquisition. It wasn't too much of a thing to deal with. But we gotta get out of here.
Cool second.
The alarm you pulled is going to have the authorities around on us soon. We should get going.
Stares at the hospital for a moment. Bewildered. Disoriented. For some reason, he feels like something deep inside him was just lost. Torn away.
Which I think is a good place for us to call the session for tonight.
I'm distraught. Also, fuck you! Damn it!
Do we need a brief break before we get to experience?
Nah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm good. I'll just sit here and bitch about it on stream.
I'm sorry. It was like an in-character thing.
You stole it from me! Dorian, you fucking tyrant! You stole my pain!
He likes Aaron. He doesn't want him to have to live with that.
Sure. Likes. You mean emotionally controls.
A little bit of tomato, a little bit tomato. I'm not going to say it's completely like, but...
Holy hell.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Aaron, you're still going to take 3 stains.
Oh, damn it. I thought I could help
3
that with
stains. I have some questions about
Mhm.
that, actually.
Yep.
Because technically, I didn't actually... Well, there were 2 things I did that were against those stains, but I know one of them I can never use again, probably. Cash himself meant never allow others to touch what's mine. He would not allow Singleton to touch Cash. And don't stop until the job is done. The job is done. Despite what it fucking meant.
Technically, the job wasn't done by you. It was done by Singleton. So no, I say I can't rule you for that one.
Okay. Do I still get the 1 off?
For not allowing Singleton to touch what is yours, which was in this case Cash.
Mm-hmm.
I will say yes for this one instance. But it is, like you said, the conviction that is no longer going to be with you for the remainder of the Chronicle.
Okay. 2 stains taken.
Mm-hmm. Roll your remorse. You don't know what it is. Because that memory, that section of your memory is blank. You can't even confirm what Dorian said was right. But you feel it in your soul. Something is missing. But you're not sure what. And you wonder, what did Dorian take from me?
You just gave me a new plot element that I'm never letting go.
That's the point!
Oh, fuck, dude.
That is the point. Okay. Well, the viewer vote has already started for our poll, but our cast members do get to decide who gets some experience and things. So everybody gets one for showing at the table, and I had my full cast today.
Yay!
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 I wanted this plot element to happen on a full cast, so here we are.
I knew this was gonna happen eventually, but at the same time, it hurts so bad.
I know, and I love Cash too, and I didn't want him to die. But we do what we do.
It wasn't just dying, it was a fucking execution.
Was.
It
You
was
executed him.
extremely wasteful.
God.
There's no wonder that he is stuck in there for being a
still
Ventru and
crying.
not forward thinking.
Ooh.
To be fair, you weren't even considering the fact that he has a lot of things that he can learn just by taking those Second Inquisition people's equipment.
He was too upset to think about that.
Yep. I know Dorian was thinking about, the short-sightedness, but Dorian doesn't realize that there's a lot you can learn by not having that person alive as well.
I'm aware.
But moving right along. So, everybody got their one experience for showing up today, and so now we decide on some roleplay prompts. Dorian, you got the landslide favorite,
There you go.
Black
Take
Wolf.
it.
Thank you for spending 26,000 channel points.
Take it.
Jesus.
Take your dirty money.
I'm sorry, Specs.
Oh,
No,
God.
Actually, no, I'm
No.
not. I'm definitely not sorry.
That was like, when I think about the horrors that Ventru can do, that was it.
That's it.
That
That's
right
a new
there.
plot point, and
Yep.
that's
That right there is
what
the
did
reason
Dorian
why
take from
Ventru are
me?
Fucking horrifying.
Mm-hmm. Because now Aaron wonders what Dorian took.
I'm so fucked up over that. I'm so
Max, let's be honest. This is what we play this game for.
This is what I'm
Oh
good
my
at.
God.
You come to a CoffeeCat game for these kinds of threads and these kinds of daggers in your heart.
All right, so let's start this off.
Yes.
Plot
Plot pusher.
pusher. I'm gonna give it to Dorian.
Dorian.
Yes.
That sounds unanimous to me.
Really?
And
Okay.
let's see here. Okay,
Best
we're unanimous.
scene.
Oh, that's
Aaron.
gotta be Winters. That's gotta be
Yeah.
Winters.
Thank you.
That one's unanimous too. Hot damn. No need to deliberate. Okay. Best line.
That is.
You can't say me for
Dorian.
saying Dorian.
No, it's Dorian. Dorian.
Forget.
Yep.
Ooh. Ooh.
Jesus.
Think so too, Spectre?
Yeah.
Dorian it is. A near
Jesus Christ.
sweep this episode. But that does it for this
I was just
episode.
glad I was able to play a little bit because my internet's been shit.
Hey, I have
don't
everything.
worry.
I have everything in the VOD, so if you want to go back and listen to it, you can. But yeah, you were here for the meaningful bits, and we were able to fill you in on the brief points that were poignant. So you were able to
Thank you.
successfully still create a hole in both Aaron's soul and in his mind. So you're welcome. With that being said, let's find somebody to raid and possibly increase the joy that we feel as part of this game. That or part of tabletop in general, or video games, or whatever else we might think that we might be raiding into. But we do post episodes, like I said, on YouTube. So when and if you guys have missed an episode or you want to go back and relive some of your favorite moments, they are all posted on the CoffeeCat Presents YouTube. So you should be going there and hitting subscribe. Hit that bell and leave a comment if you like. If you're on YouTube and somehow you are not following me on Twitch, you really should at CoffeeCat Presents, because that's where we do this show and D&D live. So we do Blood and Iron on Wednesdays, and we do Rebirth, the Detail on Saturdays. So you really should be checking us out on Twitch as well. So follow and subscribe on both, because if we get more engagement, that might be reasons for me to put shorts out or something like that. Well, who knows? We'll find out. Edited content could be coming down the pipeline if we can get to a point where it would make sense. So, we've had a fantastically tragic night tonight. So let's find someone to raid and continue on this journey with Blood and Iron Dead Man's Hand next Wednesday. So until then, say goodnight, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
And,
Good night.